Today I'm going to work on the Team Stats JavaScript project from Codecademy. Populating data, number 1, we're going to create a data structure to store the information about your team. So we're going to start by declaring a const variable named team and set it equal to an empty object. Number 1 is done. Number 2, our team has players and games that they have played, so we're going to represent both by adding a players property and a games property with empty arrays. Let's create underscore players property with an empty array, and same thing for games. Number 2 is done. Number 3, we're going to populate the empty players array with 3 players. We're going to use first name, last name, and age. So we're going to do this 3 times, 1 in each line so we don't get confused. First name, last name, and age of 3 different players. And for number 4, we're going to do the same thing for games with opponent, team points, and opponent points. So now we have populated games with opponent, team points, and opponent points 3 times. Getting data. Number 5, we're going to create a getter method called players to retrieve the players property. And we're going to return players property. Get players and return players. Number 6, we're going to create another getter method called games and return games. So we just did the same thing for games, and let's go to number 7. This is the adding data session. Number 7, adding data. We want to add a new player to our team, so add a .addPlayer method to the team object. This method should take 3 parameters: new first name, new last name, and new age. Add player, new first name, new last name, and new age. And inside the method, we're going to create a player object by setting the 3 parameters to be the values of the object's 3 properties: first name, last name, and age. Let player, first name, new first name, last name, new last name, age, new age. And finally, add the player object to the team's player array. Number 8, below the team object, let's try out our new addPlayer method to add a new player. We're going to add Bugs Bunny, age 76. And in order to do that, we're going to log team's player property to check that our new player was added. Team add player. Number 8, below the team objects, let's try out our new addPlayer method to add a new player, Bugs Bunny, age 76. We're going to log team's player property to check that our new player was added. Team add player, Bugs Bunny 76, console.log team.players. Save, and a new player was added. Number 9, the scorekeeper has some new information for us. Create a method for adding game results called addGame. It's going to take 3 parameters: new opponent, new team's points, and new opponent points. Inside the addGame method, create a game object by setting the 3 parameters to be the values for the object's 3 properties: opponent, team points, and opponent points. Add the game object to the team's game array. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did to add player, but this time for add game. So add game, new opponent, new team points, new opponent points. Let game, opponent, new first name, new last name, and new age. And you're going to use the push method. Number 10, finally below our team object, use a .addGame method to add a record of a new game. Our team played against the Titans, where we scored 100 points and the opponent scored 98 points. Log the team's games property to check that our new game record was properly added. Team add game, Titans 198, console log team games. Save, and now you have the new team, your points, and the opponent points added. And that's it for the Team Stats project.